Hi friends, today we're going to work on lesson 4 in our chapter, and we're going to work with regrouping ones to add. Alright, so you're going to turn to page 371 to follow along. Alright, now for those of you who have had me previously, this is something we've worked on already with adding 2-digit numbers, so this will be a good review. And for my friends who've joined us from in-person learning, you hadn't covered the standard algorithm yet, so this will be a good introduction for you with this as well. Alright, so we're going to model this using base 10 blocks. All right, our library has 146 books about dogs. It has 145 books about cats. How many books about cats and dogs does the library have? And then we're going to write the number sentence. Okay, so there's 146 books about dogs and 145 books about cats. Now, something we've talked about in the past is you're always going to start with the smallest place value, ones, and work your way up. Okay, so when we count our ones, or tens, or hundreds, anytime there's a group of 10, you're going to upgrade it to the next number. So let me show you what I mean. So let's count our ones. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. If there's a group of 10, which there is an 11, you're going to take that group and make it into the next group, because every time there's a group of 10, you move it up. Now in this case, you may notice that I left 1 because it's 11, so there's a group of 10 and there's 1 left over with that 11. You're not going to take all of them, you're just taking a group of 10 to make a 10 stick. So if we were physically using our base 10 blocks, you would take the individual cubes that were worth 1 and put them together to make a stick of 10. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tens. So not a group of 10 there. So we're done with that. And then we have 2 hundreds. Okay? So we have, don't get confused about this. There's 1 left over because we've used these to make a 10. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tens. And there's 2 hundreds. So our original number of 146 plus 145 is going to equal 291. Okay, so let's talk about that in a little more detail. So we're going to find 135 plus 328. Okay, so first, step 1, add the ones. All right, you always start with the ones. If there are 10 or more ones, you're going to have to regroup 10 ones as 110. Just like what we did here. We took those 10 ones, made them a 10 stick. So we took 10 ones, made them 110. Write the 1 in the tens column. It's what's called carrying the 1. Okay, so as you can see here, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So they took 10 ones and made it a 10 stick and left 3 left over. So let's look at what that looks like in the standard algorithm. First, it's important that you have all your ones, tens, hundreds lined up. As you can see, they have it in columns like this. It's not always as easily labeled like that, but you want your ones, tens, and hundreds lined up. So you did your 5 plus 8, which is what they did here in the picture, equals 13. There was a group of 10, so you carried it. That's doing the same thing as drawing it here. And then there were 3 ones that you didn't regroup, so you leave them in the ones place. Okay, so the 3 goes here, the 1 goes there. Step 2, you're going to add the tens. In this case, you have 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 2 is 6. It's not a group of 10, so you don't need to regroup anymore. You just put a 6. Then you add the hundreds. In this case, 1 plus 3 is 4, so your answer is 463. All right, so you always start with your ones and work your way over. All right. Now, you can use Workmat 7 in the back of your book to help you follow along, and you can draw base 10 blocks on it if you'd like, or a whiteboard, make the columns and draw if that helps you. Okay, so I'll show you how to do that with 1 to see if it helps you. All right, so we have 436 plus 245. So let's, what was it, 436 plus 245. So I have my ones lined up, my tens, my hundreds, even though I don't have my chart labeled. 345. Okay, so what the Workmat would show you is it would have the 3 columns. Okay. And I'm just going to write the letters for sake of time. So you have hundreds, tens, and ones, and you would draw it to show you. So you have 400. All right, so I have 436, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay? And then 245. So let me draw it first, and then I'll show you how to do it with the standard algorithm. Okay, so starting with my ones, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to go ahead and circle that because I know that's a group of 10. All right, I'm going to cross it out, and I'm going to move it over here to become a stick. So I've ended up with 1, 1. Now I'm going to move over to my tens. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's not a group of 10, so I just end up with 8. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hundreds. So I end up with 681. So let's see what that looks like in our standard algorithm. So you start with your ones. You have 6 plus 5, which is 11. So I already know I have a group of 10. I'm going to carry that 1. I'm going to regroup that 1. If it helps you to put it in a box to match the picture, that's fine. You don't have to. Often they'll give you a box in your workbook. So I have 6 plus 5 is 11. So that's my group of 1. And I have 1 left over in 11. So it goes down here. So just like over here, I had 1 left over. That stays there. I carried 1 and added a stick. That's what you're doing here. Then you move on to add your tens. 1 plus 3 is 4. Plus 4 is 8. I know that quickly because that's a doubles fact. And then 4 plus 2 is 6. So as you can see, we ended up with 681. So I'll go ahead and transfer that to over here, which you could have been working along in here as well, obviously. All right, so let's try this one just using the standard algorithm. If it helps you to draw a picture, by all means, especially our friends who are just learning to do this, please use a picture if you need. All right, so starting with our ones column, 7 plus 8, that's 15. So I have a group of 10 and 15, and I have 5 left over. Then I have 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 4 is 7. Okay? Then 1 plus 6 is 7. So our answer is 775. So you always start with your ones. Work your way up, because eventually we're going to get to where you might have to regroup your tens and carry 100. Okay, so you have to make sure that you're really clear and organized as you go. All right, so how is 3-digit addition like 2-digit addition? Well, you always start with the ones, just like you would with 2-digit addition, and you regroup if there's more than 10 ones, just like you would with 2-digit addition. All right, so you're going to keep practicing that. As you can see, they've marked the different labels, or sectioned off the ones, tens, hundreds, and these, and then they didn't for here. But remember, it's not changing anything. Okay, so you're still having your ones here, then your tens here, and then your hundreds. All right, it just looks different without the bars. Okay, so don't let that throw you. All right, so you're going to work through those. It's really good practice. Draw a picture if you need to, or just do the standard algorithm. Then work through your problem solving. Word problems, and then of course using your homework again, same exact thing you're working on, starting with your ones, going to your tens, then to your hundreds, regrouping if you need to. Okay, that's the biggest part of this lesson, is that regrouping if you need to. So making sure that if you have 10 tens, if you end up with at least 10 tens, you have to regroup it as a 10. So thinking about it like this picture, if you have 10, it has to be carried over. Okay? All right, friends, as always, just do your best, because how you complete this work shows me where you need help. If you're turning it in and everything's good and everything's fine and you've done it perfectly, then I don't have to work on it. Then I know I don't need to work with you on it. Okay, so if you're having people help you and do it for you, then you're not going to show me. I'm not going to think I need to work on it, and we're going to move on, and you're not going to learn it. Okay, so it's all about that growth and that confidence. Okay, so do your best, especially my friends, if this is new for you. It's okay. Take your time, and we'll continue to work on it. All right, friends, have a great rest of your day.